I love you.
Welcome back to the Couch Potatoes. Plenty of room on this big old couch. Come on in, have a seat. My name is the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I am the Faceless Leon. And this is a podcast about movies and TV.
Lemon.
I am a lemon.
Famous Leon.
I am the famous Leon.
The famous.
The famous
Leon.
This is Green and Faceless on the Couch,
French
a podcast
conspiracy.
about movies and TV. And it's Halloween, and I guess we're pretending that we're friends.
Yep, that's my Halloween costume.
So we hope you enjoy that.
I forgot
Our
to be
second
slutty this
highest listening country.
year. Actually, I looked at the entire world and I was like, you know what? France is the sluttiest country. So if I'm gonna
really?
go, I mean, hey France.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, they are like a fashion center.
I love you,
for
France.
real.
I want to go there. I want to go
City
all
of
up inside
Lovers,
France.
Paris.
Yeah. They understand. We have French listeners. Shout out to you, lovely people.
I guess you're sluts.
But this episode's not for you. This episode is a special little episode. If you're a couch kartoffelin, der Couch Kartoffeln.
D. But it's okay.
D Couch Kartoffeln.
Now we're pissing everybody off in Germany.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. France is like, yeah, keep going. No, we have a tier on patreon.com/greenandfaceless, our highest tier.
Yeah. We do.
Called D Couch Kartoffeln.
Yeah, and you know what's kind of funny about you struggling with it a little bit is that in Germany they talk about Americans. They have this phrase where they say, I don't remember how the phrase goes in German, but it's, we talk with our mouth full of potatoes. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so perfect for our show.
Yeah, it sure is.
We're so well thought out.
So far, we only have had Delma at this level, and because of that, we decided that we wanted to do something special for her, and also add it as a tier benefit, and that would be to be on our other show, Bangers and Hash.
Yes. And
it's a game show type thing.
Yes.
And
always evolving game show.
Always evolving game show type thing. I do want to get back into what we had settled on the format before my surgery, but we just haven't got guests lined up and stuff. Anyhow, we've had our patron come on board because she was in town and it was fun.
Yeah, it was nice. My human father's 60th anniversary of birth.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
And that would make him an adult in Gorsh, right?
Well, long past, yeah. Adult years are different. Yeah, we're like 7 to 1. Like.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we can live a long time.
Oh, yeah. Other announcements. This is how it shook out, though. The game show is that we pitch, movies at each other or TV shows to our guest judge. In this particular episode, the winner of this pitch is now our Halloween special. If other people come on board and become a patron at this tier and want to do this, or if our, other patrons want to advance in their tier and do this, we can do it as a special for whatever episode or for whatever holiday it is.
And if you want to listen to the episode where we pitched these movies to Delma, patreon.com/greenandfaceless.
That's right.
It was our Bangers and Hash episode for this quarter.
Yeah. And
quarterly productions. Oh my gosh.
Bangers and Hash, as we said, is a Patreon exclusive show. Beyond that, we have another thing that is coming up, and that is here on Saturday, the 2nd of November.
Not exclusive.
We have a premiere set up on our YouTube channel, FictionWorks 19.
Looks so
for
good.
Our short film, When Magic Touches Stone.
Yes.
I forgot the title, apparently. But
yeah, you work on a project for so long, it just becomes nothing to you.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of kept the caveman look, to be honest.
Actually, you never broke character.
So the movie, I will say, is a short tragedy about a caveman, and just a bit of a trigger warning. It is about stillborn death as well.
Yes.
Yeah, but please come and check it out and let us know what you think. It's not that often that movie critics actually go out of their way and make something. So, you can get back at us. If we've attacked your favorite movie, just let us know. There's definitely things that I would have changed during production if we had the money.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's also an experience, too. It's like, I've worked on films before, but this was your first, actual in charge of...
Right. I had been on the acting side of the camera, and I had been a grip one time.
Yeah. And I'd done a lot of grip work for a couple of small films, a couple of 2 long films that went nowhere. Both of those, which I did more than just grip work. So it's kind of sad that they...
Right, but it's still experience that you can put on your resume.
Yeah, that Hollywood doesn't care about. Right out of college, I can't remember what... I applied for a few production companies out in Hollywood, and they're just like, we'll hire you for a non-paid internship. And I'm like, I've already done that. I worked on 2 films.
Yeah.
Well, technically those weren't internships.
Yeah.
All right, motherfuckers.
It's
I can't afford to live out there.
Yeah, I know. But you could live in your car.
I thought about it.
Just saying.
My dog would hate it.
Yeah, that's true. You did have your dog. It's just too goddamn hot in LA. That's a great song, by the way. Go look it up. I don't remember who it's by.
Too goddamn hot in LA? I don't know if I've heard it.
It's too damn hot in LA.
Too damn hot in LA.
That's close. So today we're talking about Texas the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Which...
went with a chainsaw, not a hairpin.
Yeah.
It could have been Texas Hairpin Massacre.
It could have been.
Yeah. It just didn't have a good ring to it.
No, and also... I don't think anybody was killed with a hairpin.
I don't know. I was just trying to come up with another thing that you can come up with. What do you want from me?
That would be just a completely different movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Ow, 10 more of those and I might actually die. Ow.
Is Leatherface now a Texan geisha or something?
He was just like, being a crossdresser is not enough. I need to do more. I need to switch up my style.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. Should we do a shout out for the loser of that episode for...
Yeah, because it's not a loser film.
It's not, no. I gave myself a challenge, though. Mm-hmm. The other movie I pitched to Delma was Dario Argento's Opera. Neither of us had seen it. We like Dario Argento, though.
Also, I did notice just yesterday that there's a 2020 remake of Suspiria. Yeah,
there is. And I think if you watch more giallo films, you would really enjoy the genre. I've seen a few and I love it. It's just Italian horror. Their spaghetti horrors they're just fun. The only ones I can think of are Suspiria and this one, Opera. But there's others. I know I've seen them. Yeah, it was a very fascinating film. But I gave myself a bit of a challenge because that one had more gore, even though it was tasteful, pretty well done. Mom doesn't like that kind of stuff. and no. So I was, and then also, she said up front, she was like, I have seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Turns out she hadn't. Oh my god. We started watching this movie, we started watching Texas Chainsaw together. And yeah, Mom's just like, or Delma, sorry, she's my mom. Delma was just like, as we were watching, she's like, well, when do they get to the drive-in? And I was just like, what are you talking about?
What drive-in?
And she's like, the movie I watched took place at a drive-in. I'm like, I thought you said you watched at a drive-in. I did, but it took place at a drive-in. And she was thinking of Drive-In Massacre. Literally, that's what it's called, the Drive-In Massacre.
Oh, 80s horror.
Crazy, man. Released around the same time as Texas Chainsaw. Funny.
I'm sure.
But it's set up as this event happened in Texas, in 1978. 4 teenagers went down to blah blah Texas and were murdered, massacred, Texas Chainsaw.
So the group of kids here are Sally, Jerry, Kirk, Ham, old man, no. And Franklin, and Franklin, who is Sally's brother. Honestly, poor guy. Like, I think it was supposed to be a trip with him and his sister to their dad's old place.
Well, yeah, and
then she invited all her friends.
Yeah, what happened is the movie starts off with some grave massacres. You have some grave digger digs up some bodies and makes this goofy monument out of it. And they were traveling, these teens were traveling already, and that's where their grandfather is buried, is in this cemetery. So they wanted to swing by this area real quick just to make sure his grave wasn't disturbed. And then while they were there, fuck it, why not go to the family home, you know, like, might as well see it. I don't think they actually went here with any intention to go see this stuff, but just because of the cemetery getting disturbed, just changed their whole plans. Really? And then while they're out there, like, hey, grandfather lived out here. He had a old home out there by the slaughterhouse where he was. Yeah.
All right. Well, I thought that was the intention the whole time.
I honestly don't remember it.
The teenagers thought maybe they could go, you know, just have sex in this house.
That is kind of what the other couples, Sally and, I don't know, Jerry and Kirk and Pam.
I think it was Jerry and Pam, and
they might all just be mixing around together. Look at that.
Yeah.
He should be in a different type of horror movie now.
But anyhow, I thought I recognized this guy, but
Alan.
Yeah, but it's
Alan
not.
Danziger.
It's not who I thought it was.
Yeah, that is one problem with this. This movie is the teenagers, the people you're supposed to care about. They're so intermixable. None of them stand out. Every single time I watch this movie, I've seen it enough now. This is probably like my 6th rewatch of it, where I remember that Sally is the final lady, the last girl, if you will.
Yeah.
But every single time before this that I'd watch them, and like, I don't remember which one of these is the one that survives in the end.
I mean, it's always. I feel like it is always the one who gets a little extra backstory.
Yeah.
Like, her little extra backstory is that it's her dad's house. And her brother Franklin is one of the victims as well.
It's so overlookable, though, because the beginning of this movie is kind of boring. It's your classic setup where it's just the kids are driving, they stop to get gas, the Harbinger tells them, don't go up to that house, it's bad.
The old man, played by Jim Cito.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't got no gas, and he sends them on their way, and then they pick up a hitchhiker, or other way around. God, I don't remember if they see the hitchhiker first or not. But they pull over, pick up this hitchhiker, and start talking about mutilating cows.
Yeah. Because there's this awful smell. They're just like, why does it smell so bad?
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, there's a slaughterhouse around here. And it's just... Then they get into the meat industry, which, you know, that was enough for me as a kid to start. I'm a vegetarian now. I have been for more than a decade.
Yeah.
And this movie was one of the early reasons for that. Because it was like, I can't remember. It was eventually, I think, where you said that you were going to go vegetarian. I went to Pennsylvania with my friends and came back and said I was going to just commit.
Because they were doing it. Yeah, and I jumped on the bandwagon as well.
The vegetarian weeds, man.
I jumped on the bandwagon as well because I was having such problem with my gut.
Yeah.
And to tell you people, it was the fucking hernia.
Yeah, found that out.
Yeah, I say the fucking hernia. There were 4 that they fixed. Oof. Yeah, I don't shit all the time now.
Yay.
I mean, regularly I do.
They plugged it all up. They went down there and put a giant cap, and I've gained it now.
And that's not to say that I haven't had diarrhea.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I lost my gallbladder, and now I don't know when I'm sick anymore.
Yeah.
And now it's just a regular thing of life.
Yeah, see, that's how my life was. Except for, like, it was horrible pain.
Why is that horrible pain? I don't have that.
So if you have IBS out there, by the way, it's one of the leading causes is hernias. So talk to your GP about that, because your GI doctor doesn't care. Apparently.
Did I miss the memo on an ad deal? I didn't realize.
No, we don't have an ad deal. This is a PA from a guy who went through it. I'm just saying, okay, I'm not saying that my GI doctor did anything wrong, but medical journals say a lot of the leading causes of GI distress is from hernias. So why wasn't that the first thing that got checked off the list?
Yeah.
I've been dealing with this for half my life.
Yeah.
So,
lawsuits are in order, people.
No, they're not.
They should be.
I am upset about it though, and I don't want to go back to that doctor because of that.
We egged his house.
We didn't. And if you're listening out there and your house has been egged, it was not us.
I said that to one of my coworkers though. I was just like, got any plans for holiday or Halloween? And she was just like, no, our kid's, he wants to go out with his friends this year. And I was like, oh, he's gonna egg a house? And she was like, God, I hope not. And I'm like, he's gotta egg a house. Your first year going out on Halloween with your friends, you're egging in a house.
Or TP. Which I guess is less damaging. I don't know.
I can't believe it still goes on. I thought that was just our crazy thing.
No, dude, it's been years. Age old.
I know.
That's at least the 70s.
I thought we came up with it.
No.
One day, there's a tree outside that has just a perfect line. It's incredible. I'm like, look at the leaf structure. It's amazing.
Would you quit?
It looks like a Dorito.
We're not allowed to be next to windows while we record anymore. I guess I feel like I'm getting annoyed, but then I realize that I am actually medicated for ADHD.
Yeah, and
you're not.
I'm not. Oh, I'm sorry. But no, to get back in, Hitchhiker. He's crazy. Played by Edwin Neal. I'll real quickly go through the teens. We didn't talk about them.
Yeah.
Marilyn Burns as Sally, Alan Danziger as Jerry, Paul A. Partain as Franklin the Annoying Bastard, William Vale as Kirk, and Terry McMinn as Pam. The only one that is recognizable from any of them is Franklin because he's in a wheelchair. The other 4 teenagers are interchangeable.
They really
are. One of them is really obsessed with moon charts and astrology.
I don't know if that's Pam or Sally.
I don't know which one it is, but it does not come into play at all throughout the movie.
Okay, so anyhow, let's talk about how they die. So, okay, first the Hitchhiker Man, they wouldn't buy the Polaroid that he took of them.
He takes a weird photo.
And so he burns it and cuts himself.
Yeah.
And then they kick him out of the van because fuck.
Well, then he cuts Franklin.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He cuts Franklin.
Cuts himself and Franklin, and they're like, okay, 2 is enough.
Yeah. And so they kick him out of the van, and he marks the van with his blood, seemingly just smearing it around.
Yeah.
But
kinda
it does become a symbol.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the symbol necessarily is, or if it comes into play later in the franchise.
Not really.
But
maybe in the franchise. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen. This is the first time I watched this, actually. So they make it out to the Hardesty estate, which is, I guess, I don't know if that's how you say the character's last name. Doesn't matter.
Hardesties. It's
an old abandoned house. They won't help Franklin get in because they're too horny.
Yeah, they gotta go in and play around.
Yeah. And so he's actually really struggling to get inside. And it's
not funny, but it's funny.
It's not funny.
It's funny because of how annoying Franklin is. You kind of get the idea. It's not funny because he's handicapped and actually does need help. It's funny because for the past 30 minutes to 45 minutes of this movie, he's done nothing but be very nagging about everything. It's too hot. It smells so funny. That guy cut me weird. Why is this? I'm gonna start picking at your van with my knife. And it's like, Jesus Christ, man. You're like me right now. You're getting attracted from every single angle by all these different focus points. And you're just letting your brain run wild. And
Yeah, he is annoying.
So he's like, you kind of get the idea that once they get to these houses, the other two couples are just like, oh, thank God, he'll be fine in the van. We're gonna go have sex real quick, and then we'll come help him into the house.
I don't think that was their intention. Not. They're much more neglectful than that.
Well, one of them actually does ask to, because he stays behind real quick, but Franklin's just complaining to the point where he's just like, fine, I'm just gonna go in.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but he does, I do think, though, that person helps him in. Eventually. And then, he goes upstairs to be with his girlfriend. Then Franklin's like, being all pissy.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, hey, that's right. But first he's like, I didn't say anything, so you guys don't know. But he just was making all these faces and going, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And,
here's them moaning. Well, I mean, they don't actually have sex, but like he hears them like playing around, and he's just like,
and then two of them decide they're going to go to the swimming hole that Franklin told them about.
Yeah.
And I do think he might have said, oh, I'd like to go. And they're like,
give us an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was Kirk and Pam, I believe.
Yeah, I think they're the first ones.
They go out there and do. Is there a skinny dipping scene? I can't.
No,
remember.
They never get to it. They find the area. They find the old house where the watering hole.
That's right. They see the house and they just. It's run by gas generators.
Yeah, and they need gas for the van. So Kirk or Jerry, either one, goes, I'm gonna go see if I can barter with these people and get some gas. And he runs in there and gets clobbered with a hammer by Leatherface.
Yeah, Carrie's dead.
Yeah, Leatherface, played by Gunnar Hansen. He is a big, brutish man with a human skin mask over his face.
That he's made himself.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's gross.
It's gross.
First time watching this, I was not afraid of Leatherface because I didn't understand what it was.
Right.
I wasn't shocked by it. But when you find out, when you understand better, when you're not a kid sneaking this movie at night, you're like, oh, that's human skin. That's quite grosser than, ew.
Yeah.
Like,
it's pretty gross.
It's pretty bad.
Anyhow, kills happen. I honestly don't remember how that guy dies, but he gets killed by Leatherface.
He just gets hammered to the head.
Hammer to the head.
Twice.
Which there's a lot to do with the hammer.
Yeah, they talked about it in the truck, how back in the day, you didn't have these nail guns to easily kill your cattle, or your pigs or your livestock. They would usually just hit them in the head. And some families got really good at it, i.e. the Leatherface family.
Yeah. Grandpa could do it in one swing.
Yeah. No pain felt, and it was better for the meat because fear
makes it taste good.
Yeah, got in that blood. They released that hormone, that pheromone, whatever you call it.
Yeah,
and as they mentioned in the van, sometimes you don't die on the first swing, and so you can see that poor Kirk or Jerry, whoever dies first, Carrie. He gets hit twice in the head really hard. And it's pretty gruesome because it's the first one does the job, but he's still kicking, let's say.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard to watch.
So,
not as hard as his girlfriend gets it though.
Yes. Yeah. I think actually this happens first. She gets lifted by, Leatherface.
I don't know.
Onto a meat hook.
Yeah.
And then forced to watch him kill her boyfriend.
Forced to watch him cut up her boyfriend.
Okay, so he already at least knocked him out. He's
definitely not... Yeah, he's been hammered twice in the head already, but he gets the chainsaw taken to him in front of her.
Okay.
And that was the only scene. I was proud of my mom. She's not great with the gore. That was the only scene where she had to cover herself was the meat hook part, which I understand is pretty gruesome.
She said in the recording that we did with her that she needed to have her eye cover closed for the.
And I was like, not really, not for Texas Chainsaw, except for the meat hook scene. And she took that to heart.
Nice.
That part was rough. I love it though. And that just leaves poor Sally and Franklin.
We got
and Jerry.
You got the other Carrie
or Jerk.
Jerk. You're right. It's Jerk.
Yeah.
So Jerk comes and he is like, where are these guys at? They haven't come back from the swimming hole. He sees the house, go in there, and he's looking around, and there's like creepy furniture made out of bones everywhere. And then he finds a freezer and decides to open it up for some reason.
There's something hammers from inside it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he sees it move.
And he opens it, and Pam is in there half dead.
Yeah.
And
she's basically dead. She's just twitching.
Yeah. And then he gets ganked.
Yeah.
Also don't remember how that happened.
I think he just gets chainsawed. I'm not sure.
Okay. I thought so. I thought so.
And Ellie's just poor, the Hardesty twins.
Yeah. So we already said, Sally is the final girl.
Yeah.
/ last lady. We'll let you watch the movie to see how that happens. But yeah, I also don't remember what happened to Franklin.
Franklin just complained a lot. Sally, they took the keys with them. Sally, I want to go with you.
Oh, right.
Sally, don't take the flashlight. Give me the flashlight.
Because they are
Sally,
together
don't go
at
out
this
without
point.
the flashlight. I'll go with you, Sally. And then Leatherface just comes up out of the blue with chainsaw ablazing. And just goes right to town on Franklin.
Yeah.
And it's not as good of a wheelchair death as the Friday the 13th wheelchair death. That one's much more entertaining. But yeah, we're 0 for 2 for wheelchair people making it through horror films.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'm sure there's another one. I can't think of another. I know there is one. One of those. One of the Ouija board.
We didn't watch the Ouija movies.
We didn't watch it, but I think Ouija Origin of Evil involves a girl in a wheelchair.
I think that movie is on my shelf, and I have never watched it.
It's pretty good. The sequel's good. The Ouija, the original one, is awful. But
we'll watch those someday.
Someday, it'll be
so, everyone dies as a good horror movie should be, a good slasher movie. I think this is an okay movie. But that's kind of how I feel about the slasher genre in general. If we're going to compare it to the other really famous slasher movie being Friday the 13th, I guess the Michael Myers movies, the Halloween movies are slashers too, and those are good. Friday the 13th compared to this movie is a pile of shitty shit.
Thank you.
It really was already, in my opinion.
Yeah. This movie's actually good.
I think I think it's a good movie of its genre. It's just not a genre that I'm super into. I feel like they could have fleshed out the whole family thing a little bit more.
Yes, definitely. They could have even fleshed out, again, I mentioned it before, Leatherface is a cross-dresser.
Right.
I think in the Bangers and Hash, I said they were trans.
Right.
That was me being a little offensive. I think I was just being offensive when I said trans, because as a trans female,
right,
I didn't think anything of it. But yeah, I think cross-dresser is more.
I think cross-dresser or drag queen, but drag queen I think is very specifically has a flavor of performance.
Yeah, I would love to see Leatherface as drag queen.
I give it a full face though. Yeah. I think it's worth watching, especially if you like horror movies.
Yeah, it's a classic for a reason. It set up a lot of trends, a lot of storytelling ideas, and its horror is tasteful. It's not blatant in your face gross, but its ideas are gross. Yeah, its thoughts on the meat industry is gross. I mean, in my opinion, I agree with its thoughts on the meat industry, but it's, it brings up this horridness where it's just like, you get to the house and you're like, oh my God, they made this house all out of human bones and everything. Well, you look at the modern house and back in the 1800s and stuff, there's just animal heads on the wall and, we don't do that as much these days, but it's just the same idea, just using animals instead of humans, which obviously not a morally gray area, but a morally gray area. Yeah. But I really enjoy this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. It's an easy rewatch, and it's as I said,
got cannibalism in it. So if you're into that,
who doesn't love that? That's fun. It's weirdly put together. The editing is a little odd at times, but I think it adds to the atmosphere. I give it 4 stars out of 5.
Well, That's a pretty good score.
For Sheboygan.
I don't know. It's not my favorite.
No, it's not my favorite either, but I think I agree with you that it's better than Friday the 13th.
100%.
Yeah.
Every frame of it.
Not Jason X.
No, Jason X is a masterpiece in
treasure.
space.
It's a fucking treasure, man.
So, yeah, that's the show.
It is indeed. Thank you all. It's been a wonderful Halloween. I've enjoyed it, certainly. I hope you have, too.
I have.
Yeah. And all of you. All of you couch potatoes as well. I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh, and for Halloween, I think I will be a sexy little alien.
Nice. That sounds good. I am the Faceless Leon. Happy Halloween. I think I'll shape myself into a rhinoceros.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or maybe a Jadoon.
How about a potato?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of am that. I kind of am that.
Yeah.
Just naturally. Safe travels! And good night! Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. Are you a fan of the show? Feel free to contact us at greenandfacelessfans@gmail.com or visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or rate us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.